Just as we've seen in the report, President Tinubu on Thursday inaugurated a presidential economic coordination council, and they are tasked with strategizing a way out of the current economic situation. So the committee had to come together to bring up better solutions to take the country out of where we are right now. So gentlemen, let's look into this new step that the government has taken. Would we commend the government for this move? Are we happy with? I mean, we've seen the likes of Aliko Dangote, we've seen the likes of Tony. We've seen so many other top businessmen doing well in their own field, which I believe was the reason why the president, called them over and brought them together to form a committee to help out with the economic issues we're having as a country. But gentlemen, let me get your opinions on this. Do you see this as one step forward in ending the economic hardship we have, or do you just see this as the usual committee? Because right now I would say we have so much committees, but I don't know if those committees are yielding results. Well, let me just have your views. Let's start with Mr. Richard.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. The committee isn't really the problem here.
Okay.
But we've always had committees, and at a point, even the legendary fella Nicola Bukuti did something about committee upon committee and all that. So, and when former President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, for 6 months he didn't have idea of what to do, and both the cabinet and whatever. And people said, look, that was a major blow to his presidency, because he couldn't really, he was indecisive coming on board. And so he eventually put up some of the best brains you can think of in this country, the Afro-Rwandans, and all that. So, and we also know how it all ended. Then this president came on board, and before he came, he went to Chatham House, and he went there with the likes of Ben Ayade, the Aerofiles, and all that. And he told the whole world that, look, these people will form bulk of my cabinet. I don't know if anyone is there now. So, but then I'm just trying to give a background to where we found ourselves. Then, even when he threw up his cabinet eventually, the names like Wale Edo, the Cardosos, you had different, section of the populace, hailing, and some were not so impressed at what he did. So, but then they are on board, and we have seen what they've done, and the president too seemed not to be impressed. So now, another step, should we say, in the right or wrong direction? Because now, just a few weeks ago, like last week or 2 weeks, you had Dangote, the Colossus, complaining, about the interest rate. What we are saying here, for Dangote to have come out and complain, this is a foremost industrialist, and he came out and said, look, with 30% interest rate, we are not going to be able to employ, and we will struggle to produce. So now, he is on board. He has always been there. It's always been either one committee or another committee. But what baffles me is this. In a country where you have of about approximately 200 million population, and you have just 4,000 megawatts being generated as electricity, and you have so much, bad road networks, no functional rail system, like we say, no bullet train in this part of the world, and even the highways, they are like more or less like dead traps. That economy is paying interest rates at 30%. But now go to Japan, go to China, go to United States. United States has interest rate between 5.25 to 5.50. But you are in that economy. You do not have to own a data pass label to buy. You do not have to buy. I don't want to give relevance to that brand now. So for you to, but now as you are planning, you must go borrow money not just for your business, but for supporting your business. Now you have non-state actors. Some of them are monile who keep coming every month or every year, and government does nothing about them. So, but all those things, you can't face them in China, in Japan, you can't face them in the United States or United Kingdom. But then the interest rate in Japan, as I'm talking to you, is no more than 3.50. Now, but where you have more barriers to really getting people employed, producing, so that infants can get to eat egg, can get to drink milk, you are paying interest rate at 30%. So how are we going to be, the industries, how are they going to run? The graduates you are churning out, thousands every year, NYSC, they snap pictures and they do parade. Where are they going? I mean, how are they going to help the economy? So I don't want to say much about it, because one of the arrowhead of the committee, the Dangote, the Elumelu, Dangote complained, and if he had done that, I think I would have preferred if the president's priority had been on, look, how do we put electricity for industrialists to run so that they can produce more?
Well, I think Adelabu was part of the meeting. I think I saw him there. Okay. So probably along the line, private power was also discussed.
Okay, benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Benefit. You want to give benefit of the doubt? It's okay. It's okay. Adelabu is there. Adelabu has spent about a year as a minister there. Then they make the generation and the distribution. Has it actually brought so-called to industrialists? The band A that the MLC,
so people are
the band A that you look. I was at a factory of one of the Jews producing. They shut down. They could not produce because of gas. But we burn trillions of cubics of gas. We flare every day in this country. But look, it's a brand. This is not a platform to promote any brand. But they could not produce because gas issue. No, now you have band A or bandits A, as some people say, but still it hasn't really delivered what it ought to. Yeah. But a few days ago, you still went to review of that same thing. So you won't really want to kill people, right? Okay.
All right. Let's have Mr. Victor's opinion. So, do you feel, having committees? Do you feel that is actually the way to take us out of this hardship we are in right now as a country?
Well, I think about Einstein defines sanity as doing the same thing, doing something the same way repeatedly, and expecting a different result. All the committees we have been having, what result have they produced? The situation we find ourselves in now is not about committees. Committee will not yield anything. For instance,
let's look at the people in this committee.
It is not about
people who are doing well.
It's not about the people.
When it comes to business and economics.
Okay, it's not about the people. Okay, somebody like Dangote now. How much is his meat? How much does he sell his meat? How much? Before the advent of this government, we buy a bag of meat at 4,500. Now it's 7,000, 8,000. If you want to build a small shop, how much is that going to cost you? Is that the person that will advise the president that will make things to change? The answer is no. And again, the president, the bulk of the problem of this country, the current problem, was caused by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When on the day of swearing, he just out of maybe excitement, happiness, he just said subsidy is gone. That is the basis of this problem we find ourselves in. So there is no amount of committee we put in place that will change all things.
So we prefer him to go back and
it should revert that decision. That decision has to cause a lot of problems. But if it does not come, or if you set up a committee and that policy is still on ground, how is it going to solve it?
But don't you think the damage has already been done? So
if the damage has been done by pronouncement, Is it wrong for you to reverse that pronouncement? If somebody has made a pronouncement that has caused so much hardship in the country, is it difficult for him to say, I'm retrieving what I have said?
After almost a year.
Yes. There's nothing wrong in reverting what somebody has said. Because without doing that, now, you are producing. For almost 1.5 months now, we have not seen light in my place. Assuming I had a factory, how do you expect me to produce? No light. And the alternative I'm supposed to use, which is diesel, a liter of diesel is selling for 1,600. How many liters am I going to buy to be able to power my equipment? These are the things we are talking about. So if he set up a committee as he has done, is the committee going to change that? The committee will not change that. All over the world, serious government subsidize power. I've written an article about it. The trillions of naira that countries spend on power is no small amount of, because without power you can't produce. So you set up a committee. That committee, is it going to bring up policy to change the pronouncement he has made? It's not going to change it. So let us tell ourselves the truth. If we don't tell ourselves the truth, we are not going to move forward. So I'm starting here to say the committee is of no use. It's not going to produce anything, because what I've said now, until a new pronouncement is made by the president by reverting to all the petroleum product, the price of petroleum product, there's no way we are going to move forward. And again, why are we so dependent on petroleum product? It is because there's no public power supply. If we have public power supply, I don't need a petroleum product I don't even need generator in the first place. I don't need. Go to advanced country. I've been going to conferences for the past 3 months at a landmark event. If you go there, you see what Chinese are doing. You see what Turkish are doing. You see what other countries are doing. You will never see Nigeria exhibitor there, because we are not producing anything. If you want to produce, it costs you 20 times what it will cost a Chinese to produce, because over there they have a steady power supply. So is committee going to provide the electricity for us? The answer is no. So the committee has set up, to me, it's a waste of time, because they are going to sit, they are going to spend money, because each time they sit, they will spend money. They are not going to spend, just sit down without spending money, because these are people who are pursuing their private business. If they are going to leave their businesses to come and sit in your committee, you will provide the incentive for them to leave their businesses. So it's a waste of time. It's not going to yield anything.
Okay, let's go back a bit. Looking at the past administration, comparing it to this current administration, I would say that for this present administration, you could see that move, that let's say steps or moves, for lack of better words to use, to see that, okay, we're feeling the pains of the people. Let's see what we can do to, bring solution to it. I don't know. Unlike the previous government, I don't think we have much of, all these conversations on, okay, things were, because if you would ask me, things started going south from the previous administration, in as much as it went. Okay, Mr. Ashama is looking at me like he doesn't believe what I'm saying.
I
right?
can't
No, one is talking.
Do you
One
have a
is
different
talk.
opinion?
One is talk.
Because
One is talk.
I felt that this present government are a bit more responsive. I think
What we are saying is dummy control.
Which not necessarily mean, I'm just saying that for them to have come up to say, okay, let's just have a committee to look at this. It definitely means that they know that
committees are not new things in Nigeria. Every government has set up committees.
I told you committees became so endemic that fella had to sing.
They are not new things in Nigeria.
So what we are saying here is that my dad used to say something of my dad of pleasant memory, that busy doing nothing. See, and I can tell you that activity necessarily does not translate to productivity.
Yes.
And if it does not, you're just wasting your time. So what we are saying is this. Look at what happened in Kenya. Some few Gen Z were on the street and they caused few upheavals there. And what did the president do? Just a few days ago, scrapped the budgetary allocation to office of the First Lady. He even, I think he had 2 wives, so because I saw second lady also scrapped the budgetary allocation. Then
even the finance bill.
He
had to start it down.
Then the allocation to parastatals and ministries cut by half. Then the trips, foreign trips by ministers and by the regional governors cancelled. That is of practical. Look at when
that is government.
Keir Starmer came on board just yesterday. You've seen what he has done. Healthcare was a serious issue going into that election, and he came and said, "Look, we are going to tackle this, and I'm going to employ to start with 6,500 teachers."
And he has made appointment.
And he has made appointment within 24 hours.
He has not been sworn in.
And there was
no
celebration and inauguration that got billions of naira in that place. Look, the gods are not supposed to be for what is happening here. We are not stupid, as I keep saying. We are not idiots in this part of the world, but we are greedy. Now, take away the greed, then Nigeria is the best place to be.
All right.
So you said that you are steps that the decisions are being taken. That is not the truth. Because who caused the problem in the first place? It's the president that caused the problem. So he had to revert that statement. I keep saying so. If you create what he's doing now is just damage control. It is because, number one, journalists in this country are compromised. They are not asking probing questions. How can somebody, all the things Tinubu is doing were the things that he opposed when he was the opposition? And we don't see any journalists asking him, say, when you were the opposition, you said that there was nothing like subsidy. You protested against it. You became president. You are doing the same thing. It is only in Nigeria that such things will happen, and journalists will not take it up. Journalists will not write editorial about these things. I've been reading paper. Nobody is asking, is that how it's supposed to be? These things you were against, you are doing those things again. It's provocative. He said there was no subsidy. Today, he's removed subsidy. He should revert it. Even though there was no subsidy. There was no subsidy. Because even Mele Kyari said it that since 2018, NNPCA has never paid anybody. So where is the subsidy going that President Tinubu removed? So this increase of petroleum product has completely damaged this country, because according to the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, 767 companies have shut down under 1 year of this administration. And if his policy were to be good, how come companies are shutting down? How come companies are running away? Do companies run away from a good environment? Every company wants to operate in a friendly environment where incentives are provided, where industries are encouraged. But in this case, no encouragement. If you set up committee, people cannot go to farm to farm. Where will the food come from? Nobody is talking about insecurity. Insecurity is the high level that is promoting a hunger in this country, because people cannot go to farm. I hear people saying, the apologists of this government saying that it is only sad that they don't produce. Where Saturn has not produced it before. The food that is coming from the north, it's not from the north. They are the food they smuggle from Niger and Chad. Nobody is farming the north because people are being killed.
All right, so